Divide and conquer, a historical tactic. The strategy of dividing opposition to conquer and control populations has been a staple of imperial powers throughout history. By fostering discord among factions, powerful entities ensure that their adversaries expend energy fighting one another instead of challenging the ruling authority. This essay will explore historical and modern examples of this tactic before pivoting to an analysis of Olufemi Otaiwo's elite capture. Finally, it will examine how modern cultural dynamics, including cancel culture and identity politics, reflect the same divisive strategies that benefit those in power. Rome and the Germanic tribes. Rome's conquest of Europe is a classic example of divide and conquer. The Roman Empire deliberately exploited rivalries among the Germanic tribes, supporting certain factions while suppressing others. This approach weakened the collective power of the tribes, making them easier to subdue. Celtic divisions and the British Isles. The Celtic peoples of the British Isles, divided by clan rivalries, allowed successive waves of conquerors to dominate them. The Romans and later the English and Normans capitalized on these internal divisions to subjugate the region. The effects of this strategy linger today in the enduring tensions between Ireland and Scotland, underscoring the long-term impact of fostering discord. British strategy in India and the Ottoman Empire. The British Empire excelled in sowing division. In India, they encouraged Hindu extremists to oppose Muslim rulers, fracturing any unified resistance to colonial rule. Later, in the Middle East, the British shifted tactics during the decline of the Ottoman Empire, supporting Islamic extremists to weaken Ottoman control, a move with consequences still felt in modern geopolitics. The Iran-Iraq War. In a modern twist on the divide and conquer tactic, the Reagan administration covertly supported both Iran and Iraq during their prolonged war in the 1980s. By providing aid to both sides, the US ensured that these regional powers expended resources fighting each other rather than opposing American influence. This deliberate manipulation exemplifies how powerful states exploit regional conflicts for strategic gain. The strategy in modern times. The use of divide and conquer persists today. Powerful entities often sow discord within movements for social change, ensuring that marginalized groups remain fragmented and less effective. This tactic, while ancient, has found new life in modern identity politics and social justice movements. In Elite Capture, How the Powerful Took Over Identity Politics and Everything Else, Olufemi Otaiwo provides a critical analysis of how the wealthy and powerful co-opt movements aimed at addressing systemic injustices. Taiwo argues that this elite capture redirects social justice efforts to serve the interests of elites, undermining their original goals. Taiwo outlines how identity politics, once a tool for addressing inequality, has been manipulated to benefit powerful actors. Corporations, for instance, adopt the language of diversity and inclusion without addressing the systemic issues that perpetuate inequality. The result is performative allyship and symbolic gestures that distract from meaningful change. Taiwo critiques what he terms deference politics, where movements focus on symbolic representation and individual identity rather than structural change. He contrasts this with constructive politics, which prioritizes coalition building and practical outcomes. Taiwo's work is a compelling critique of the ways in which social justice movements are diluted by elite interests. His call for a return to solidarity-driven activism resonates as a necessary corrective to the fragmentation caused by identity-focused debates. The book's theoretical focus may not resonate with readers seeking concrete solutions. While Taiwu's analysis is sharp, his proposed remedies, such as focusing on material outcomes, could benefit from more detailed implementation strategies. Modern cancel culture often reflects the same divisive tactics Taiwu critiques. Extremists on both ends of the political spectrum frequently target moderates, accusing them of betraying their ideals. This polarization stifles dialogue and prevents the pragmatic compromises necessary for progress. Moderates, who might facilitate solutions, are sidelined in favor of more extreme voices. For example, the hyperfixation on the transgender agenda, such as the controversial defense of drag queens, historically associated with sex work, reading to children, highlights how divisive issues can derail broader movements. This cultural focus may have alienated moderates and contributed to Republican gains in recent elections, raising questions about the left's strategy. In conclusion, the strategy of divide and conquer is as effective today as it was in ancient Rome. Taiwu's elite capture underscores how this tactic is used not just in geopolitics, but within movements for social justice, ensuring that the powerful retain control. The modern left's hyper-focus on divisive issues, amplified by wealthy donors with conflicting interests, raises critical questions about the trajectory of progressive politics. As Taiwu suggests, self-reflection is crucial. When extremists sound crazy, we must ask, are they crazy like a fox? The self-destructive tendencies of the left, coupled with its odd relationship with elite benefactors, demand scrutiny. Only by addressing these contradictions can meaningful change be achieved. In conclusion, the strategy of divide and conquer is as effective today as it was in ancient Rome. Taiwu's elite capture underscores how this tactic is used not just in geopolitics, but within movements for social justice, ensuring that the powerful retain control. The modern left's hyper-focus on divisive issues, amplified by wealthy donors with conflicting interests, raises critical questions about the trajectory of progressive politics. As Taiwu suggests, self-reflection is crucial. When extremists sound crazy, we must ask, are they crazy like a fox? The self-destructive tendencies of the left, coupled with its odd relationship with elite benefactors, demand scrutiny. Only by addressing these contradictions can meaningful change be achieved.